Is there about to be a run on canned foods, specifically vegetables? Probably not. But it would be good to know that Del Monte has declared bankruptcy. Yes, the maker of canned vegetables is declaring bankruptcy. And what's crazy is Del Monte business is 139 years old.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow. Okay.
Now, they're based in California,
Mhm.
and they are basically seeking a buyer to buy the whole company. Okay. Because they believe that the most effective way to accelerate their turnaround is to create a stronger and more enduring Del Monte Foods with a new owner. Okay. Now,
Okay.
that's like, I love these little sound bites that they put in press releases because I'm like, what the hell does that mean? And
Right.
also, how the heck can canned vegetables like go out of style or go out of, are people not buying them? So
Ah, I
that's,
mean, I haven't bought really canned vegetables in years.
well, I think my situation's a little different because my kids actually like canned vegetables. Okay. They prefer them to frozen and even more than fresh vegetables a lot of times. So,
Okay.
but they also don't like any seasoning. You know what I mean? It's like they want the bare basics, but they actually know what a carrot tastes like. They know what peas taste like, and they want to eat them. So I'm not complaining too much.
Yeah.
But so why is this happening to Del Monte? Well, there's a
Right.
couple reasons. First, and this is kind of what everybody always says, shoppers have been increasingly cutting back on their spending, which I translate that to be instead of buying Del Monte vegetables, they're buying store brands. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then they go on to say that because of this increase of cutback, that exactly that customers are purchasing private label products and they've shifted towards fresher, healthier alternatives, which then put pressure on Del Monte Foods.
Yep.
Another thing that no one ever talks about is the tariffs on steel and aluminum because Del Monte is a heavily canned food business.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, on that kind of same note, it says Del Monte not only has faced a drop in demand for its products, but the seasonality of its business also means the company is paying more to store its products in warehouses.
Yeah. Okay.
And over the past 2 years, they've actually been closing plants and warehouses, including a fruit processing plant in Washington that just shut down like a month ago. Okay.
Okay.
But when you think about it, so when carrots are in harvest time, they're going to can up a ton of carrots and then they're going to sit in storage until they go out to the shelves, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. It
So
makes
it's
sense.
not like they're canning carrots all year round because a lot of times it'll say within 24 hours of being picked. You know what I mean?
Right.
So you don't think of canned veggies having a seasonality, but they actually do.
No, that makes sense.
Yeah. And so Del Monte said the bankruptcy should not impact its ability to deliver products to stores. So I keep seeing a lot of like clickbaity stuff on social media where it's like, go run out and get your Del Monte vegetables now because they'll be gone. It's not true.
No, no. Right.
They
Yeah.
literally have warehouses full of vegetables that will be coming out to shelves. There's no shortage.
Right.
Now, it says the canned food maker is not the only company facing challenges because of consumers basically reducing their spending.
Right.
Several large companies this year have announced job cuts, plant closures, and even filing for bankruptcy. And some of those are PepsiCo,
Yeah.
Post Holdings, which is cereal,
Hmm.
ConAgra Brands, which funnily enough makes a lot of the great value shelf stable stuff, and
Right.
even AM Smuckers, which has like 80 different brands under them.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, I see that this is going to be a trend where we're going to see these big companies that you never would have thought of are going to start declaring bankruptcy, but they specifically want somebody to buy them. Normally, when they declare bankruptcy, they're looking to like restructure their debt, get better
Yeah.
interest rate. You know what I mean? Like they're planning on staying in business. But
Right.
Del Monte, it's somebody's going to buy them up,
Yeah.
and it's just now it's going to depend on who. And honestly, a company like ConAgra, it would make more sense for them to do it because they already make a lot of canned goods.
Right.
So this one definitely has a Google alert in my discovery.
Well, and even if it wasn't to utilize the facilities that Del Monte already has. Getting access to their suppliers could be all they're in for and be worth the money for them. So, like, I could see a company buying them and not necessarily even anticipating, like, maintaining the brand, especially if the brand is struggling. So, like, it would almost probably, like, if you moved it to a private label, like I could see that being more advantageous than, or moving to, like, if you already have frozen facilities, just utilizing the suppliers to create your own boost in your supplies. So
Now, I
that's a
went ahead
thought.
and looked up what brands Del Monte owns because it's the whole company. So, of
Mm-hmm.
course, they have Del Monte, which has canned fruits, canned vegetables, as well as plastic cup snacks, which will be your cups of fruit, your cups of vegetables. They also own Contadina Roma tomatoes, which is the canned tomatoes.
Okay.
College Inn, which is like chicken broth,
Right.
stocks. I don't think they have like soups, but it's more stocks. They also have Kitchen Basics, which is stocks and bone broths. They own Joyba, which is bubble teas.
Yeah.
Take Root Organics, which is a certified, organic, non-GMO Roma tomatoes.
Right.
Okay.
Yep.
They own S&U, which is kind of another brand of fruits and vegetables.
Yeah.
So, I mean, when you look at, they are very can heavy, but my next thought is what about the farmers I'm sure Del Monte has deals with certain farmers. So if somebody doesn't buy them, how are these farmers going to deal? Because they probably have contracts that say we grow carrots for
Only.
Del Monte. You know
Right.
what I mean?
Yeah.
So this could have like a little trickle effect.
I wouldn't doubt it. Like, that's the downside of, like, food getting so concentrated and so big in one place, is like it can have a massive ripple effect. You could be looking at, I couldn't even imagine, in all honesty, how many farms almost exclusively or exclusively deal with Del Monte. Like, how much that could impact. Like, I can't even begin to fathom the numbers.
Well, and here's a thing too that I just saw on their website. Del Monte actually has a code of conduct for their suppliers.
Okay.
So, and it applies to direct and indirect suppliers, brokers, co-manufacturers, co-packers, repackers, warehouses, distributors, and licensees in all categories.
Dang.
So they have pretty high standards when you
Yeah.
think about it. And so you wonder too, like, is this something that if somebody else buys them, that they're going to hold up to that same level? Because honestly, I was not aware that Del Monte had this code of conduct.
No,
I
I
know
didn't
other
either.
companies do, but like theirs are very clear as far as treating all their workers with dignity and respect, no child labor, no discrimination. You have to do it with, they have very specific working hours, the compensation and benefits, health and safety, environment. Like they have a no deforestation policy. Like,
Dang.
hell, I wish I'd known this because I might have been buying more Del Monte if I had known how ethical of a company they are.
Yeah.
I mean, they even have an anti bribery and corruption clause.
Holy cow.
Hey,
Okay.
I mean, Chiquita Bananas can't say that. So I'm just saying. So, but I wish Del Monte luck. I hope whoever does buy them, since that's their kind of end goal here, kind of
Yeah.
keep their standards.
Yeah.
But I don't think they're going away. I really don't. I don't think there's going to be a run on these. I don't think shelves are going to like empty out unless it's just simply from fear mongering on Facebook. So let us know down below. Do you buy Del Monte products? Would you be upset if they went away? And on the other hand, what if they just did all cost cutting measures that they could to lower their prices to be more competitive? And then would the volume end up making enough money for them? Who knows? Let us know your thoughts down below.